Now that we know all these ways carbon can move around the Earth in and out of every single sphere, we have to be aware of where the carbon is being stored. We call these places carbon reservoirs. So each location where carbon can be is a reservoir that can hold carbon, and like we saw in the game, some more and some less. So here we're getting the opportunity to calculate the balance of carbon between a few different spheres. And to do that, we have to use these amounts of carbon that are found in the following locations. So here we're thinking about, we want to take the total amount of carbon going in the atmosphere. So I want to look for all the arrows. Going in to the atmosphere. So on this picture, they should be pointed into the air, and they're also going to be yellow. So I've got an into the atmosphere, an in, and an in. So I'm looking at my 750 from diffusion going into the atmosphere. I'm looking for 1100 here, amount of carbon. That looks like from releasing of volcanoes. And my last one, my biggest one, is from combustion of fossil fuels at the city there. So the net is totaling that up. So you want to add those up, take a total amount of carbon going in. And hang on to that number because we'll need it coming up. Now we're thinking about the total amount of carbon coming out of the atmosphere. So that's our other two arrows in the diagram where we're seeing carbon come down from the atmosphere to another location. Here we have our diffusion as 950 coming out of the atmosphere into the ocean, and we're seeing photosynthesis take out 900 of carbon from the atmosphere. So again, these are our from the atmosphere or out of the atmosphere arrows. And I can tell that because they're coming, again, out of the atmosphere. So again, the net is thinking about the total amount of those. So again, you're doing a little addition to get that total amount coming out of the atmosphere. So all 5 of these arrows have to do with the atmosphere. So what we want to do is decide, well, what is that total amount between the two, and is it going in or out of the atmosphere? What's my total going to be? So you're going to take the total you got from the ins, place it here. The total you got from the outs, place it here, and do a quick calculation to figure out the overall total, the difference between the two, and if it's going into the atmosphere, into the water, or into our plants, our biosphere. So plug in those calculations and finalize, submit.